So this is the website that you will see that we're using for our cultural research project. This is when you click on the link on my faculty website. This is what it'll take you to. And so when you first get here, we're not taking an interactive tour of Ellis Island. What we want to click on is this third tab here that says Immigration Data. So we'll click on that, and then once it loads here in just a second, it'll bring this up, and this is what I'm talking about. In those other two videos where I'm talking about that big line graph that pops right up when you get into the website, this is the line graph I'm talking about, where you'll add all of these numbers up together and it'll give you the total immigration number from 1820 to the 2000s. Okay, you can also click on this and it will show you the immigration by region, and it'll give you Europe, Asia, Oceania, Africa, not specified, and then North and South America. I'm not sure what they mean by not specified. Obviously it's those who have not come from these regions of the world. That could be, remember there's a bunch of tiny little islands off here off to the side, there's a bunch of islands over here. It really could be just about anybody. It would really just have to be clarified by the website. But then it'll also tell you here in our bar graph how many people have immigrated and from what country. So and over here you can click and it'll turn it into a table, and you can see the full chart. It blows up real big for you so that you can read everything. And the chart actually comes very specific, and it tells you specifically from what country, and that might be important. Well, not might, it will be important when you answer some of these questions. You need to be specific about which country they come from, so that'll help you with that. When I'm talking about these pie charts and our 50-year periods and all those kinds of things, this is what I'm talking about when it tells you about 50-year periods and region. That'll help you when you start your second part of your project with the construction paper and everything. And it'll this is our key here that it's talking about, and it breaks it down into our 4 big time spans of 50-year periods. Again, it turns it into a table here for you if you just read it easier with a table, but it does have the pie chart for you as well if you want to read it through that. But when I talk about exploring the historical timeline, this is the button that I'm talking about. It's the banner up here at the very top, and you click on this and that'll open up this timeline for you. And this timeline goes along with those pie charts that I showed you earlier. This one goes a little further. The pie chart starts in the 1820s. This A New Land starts from the 1492 when Columbus came here, and it goes to 1790. We don't really need that. We're talking more through the expanding America to building a modern America. That's really the 4 we're talking about. And as you can see, as I hover my mouse over each of these colors, it expands, and you can click on a certain decade, just like I'm asking you to do for that second part of the project, and it'll open up and tell you about you know, whichever decade you've chosen to do. So if you've chosen to talk about, you know, from the 1990s to the 1950s, you can come through here and see from the 1990s all the way over here to the 1950s here at World War II. And you'll click on whichever one that might be. It'll open right up for you. There are pictures that are available that you can click on, and it'll make the pictures bigger. But this is what I'm talking about to get your information from, where you'll find who came, why they came, where they came from, and you'll just click on the Learn More, and it makes it nice and big for you to read, and it'll talk about where they lived and where they came from and why they came and all that good stuff. You can exit out of that, and you can click this big arrow and it'll take you to the next decade here. We started in 1900 and it took me to 1910, and again we can learn more, and we can read more about Angel Island and so on and so forth until we get to the 1950s. So here again we can see what's going on. We can look at our pictures. Some of these, when you click on them, will have more than one section to look at. So here in the 1930s, again, you can view videos and see the pictures and things. Those are extras that we don't need to worry about unless you just want to learn more, but that's not required to complete the actual project. But as we move through the timeline, some of these things that we click on have more than one page to them. Like this one here from the 1940s and to 1950s, from World War II to the post-war period. You can click on these numbers and there's a lot to read for this decade. So these numbers down here will get you through all of your reading, and you can scroll through it here. Again, you can see this full screen if you want this whole banner to become the full screen that you're seeing, or if you want it to be just a standard view, which makes it smaller. I'm in full screen right now. But if you need to get out of this and you're answering the questions, or you need to go back and reference a pie chart or something like that, you can hit close and it'll make it go back, and you can again see what we need to see here by our decades or by our regions, depending on what you need to look at. So if you don't want it to go away completely and you want to just look at this, but you don't want it to go away completely, you don't want to start all over, remember where you came from, you can click on standard view here off to the side, and well, it's not working for me, but when you click on that, it should make it smaller and you'll be able to scroll down and use, oh, it did work, there we go. You can scroll down here and see without having to get out of this, remember where you were back in the timeline. So hopefully that helps you explore this website and how we're using it to complete our project. Again, this is a link that I have on my website. I also have my 2 videos on there explaining the 10 questions in detail, and the second and third part of the project where we're talking about our construction paper and using our choosing our 50-year time period, breaking that down into decades, and then some sort of pie or chart graph. That's all explained in a video as well. The video about the pie charts and picking a 50-year time span, the timeline is video 2, and then the one where I'm going over the 10 questions in detail and talking about what I want and what I expect from each one is video 1. And I have my link to this website on my faculty website, so that you don't have to remember on what to click on, because there are a few steps to get through to get to this page. But if you just clicked on my link, it should take you right to here. So, but again, if you have any questions about anything, about how you're being graded or how to answer a question, I have my tutoring times posted on the website, and I'm there. I stay after school much longer than my tutoring times. I'm always there early in the morning, and we of course are having time in class where we're working together on our time management skills, and we're managing our time and getting through all of these different sections in the next few days. So please feel free to ask me any questions. Again, I have no problem helping you with clarifications and answering any questions that you may have. So thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed it.